Welcome to the Spark Creativity Teacher Podcast, a podcast for English teachers in search of creative teaching strategies delivered in the amount of time it takes to redo your classroom bulletin boards or tackle your laundry mountain. I'm Betsy Potash, and I'm glad to welcome you to episode 10, all about dipping your toes in the new classroom flipping ocean without drowning. Before we dive in, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this show if you haven't already. I'm about to launch a back-to-school mini-series of 5 episodes all about how to start your year off creatively. I really don't want you to miss this. By subscribing, you'll automatically get these 5 episodes delivered straight to your listening device of choice. You've probably heard of the flipped classroom, but just in case you, like so many of us, have been busy with other things, let me give you a basic rundown. When you flip your classroom, you present your content to your students outside of class, usually through video, and use class time interactively to answer questions, conduct workshops, do projects, things like that. Now, although, believe it or not, I was once on a Bulgarian talk show, I wouldn't call myself an expert filmmaker. Perhaps you can relate. However, the idea of flipping is intriguing. My question is it really necessary to go full on? And my answer is no. I think it would be great to flip a class every once in a while also continuing to use the other strategies and units that you hold dear. It's so easy for us to become overwhelmed trying to update our classrooms to fit the strategy of the month, but I prefer to add each new useful strategy as one single element in my teacher toolkit to be used to engage my students when the time is right. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you 5 easy ways that you can give this a try. If you want to experiment with video content for your classroom and flipping just a little bit, these are some strategies you could use. Number 1, create one short video series. So if you want to try this strategy, you're just going to choose one element of your curriculum. Maybe it's formal writing. Maybe it's transcendentalism. Maybe it's fall vocabulary. Whatever it is, you're going to just try out creating some short videos around this one curriculum element. After you experiment and you have your homework be the video content, talk to your students about it. Ask them, what did you like about the videos? How did you respond to the way I use the videos for class? Did you find it more helpful than learning in class? Did you like being able to do practical applications in class? Just kind of use it as a test run and survey your students to find out how it's going. Number 2, try out at the end of the year letting your graduating students create a video. So as one class finishes the year, let them choose something from the year. Let small groups get together and pick maybe one novel, one poem, one element of writing, and create a video. This can be part of their final exam or can be a final project at the end of the year, a neat way to review. They can all watch each other's videos, but you can also select several of the best to share with your students the next year. Keep repeating the exercise, and pretty soon you'll have this nice student-created volume of work that you can share back to your own students as the years go on. Number 3, try Facebook Live. This is the one that I'm most excited about. I think this could be a really fascinating use of the flipped classroom. And so here's how it would work. Facebook Live is a new tool. It's so easy. You just point your phone toward yourself and click on Go Live, and suddenly you're video broadcasting. Now, do you necessarily want your students to be watching your video broadcast on your personal page? I don't think so. So what I would do is jump on and create a teacher account. So just call yourself Mrs. Potash or your own name, and then invite your students into a private group, a closed group. And that way, anytime you want to broadcast, you can go in and broadcast to the group. Now, there are a lot of different ways you could use this. And I've actually just written an article for We Are Teachers with a whole bunch of ways, and I'm going to link that in the show notes in case you want to take this really far. But I am going to focus on just a couple of specific ways here. Let's say that you're doing a review session. You're going to do a review session in class, but some of your students really have the material mastered and it's kind of a waste of time for them. An interesting flipped application would be to start doing your review sessions as live sessions in Facebook at night. So you could come on, you could explore the material, review it for your students, and they can actually ask you questions live right through the Facebook medium. Another way you could use Facebook Live that I love would be to take students on a virtual field trip. So can't afford bus money for your 5 sections of sophomores, you could try taking them yourself. So say that the homework over the weekend is to meet you on Facebook Live at 4 p.m. and you're going to give them the tour of the museum that you wish you could take them to, or you're going to take them to an author's house in a little town 100 miles away where you were going to spend the weekend anyway, or whatever would be a fascinating field trip for your students. I can think of so many applications. It's so much fun to brainstorm on this. You can take them now. If you've got a phone, you can take your entire class wherever you want them to go, and you can make the homework to show up and watch you and even to ask questions. So you can have a student saying, can you show us that painting a little bit more? Who's the painter for that? You can make part of the assignment to ask one question or to make 3 comments on what they see. I think this would be really cool. And another cool thing about it would be that you could actually let students go live in your Facebook group with some pretty detailed specifications. But let's say one of your students was going to London for a week over spring break. You could ask him or her to broadcast from Shakespeare's Globe Theater or the National Museum or whatever you want. But I think this is a really cool thing to test out. So if you test it out, I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about it. You could do that, of course, by joining my Facebook group, Creative High School English, where I hang out every day, and I would always love to talk to you in there. Number 4, dive in for a full unit. So if you're really ready to commit to trying out some video creation and you're getting the hang of it, maybe you've gotten your feet wet in iMovie and you're getting comfortable, maybe you want to start an entire unit as a flipped unit. You might be teaching a new book this year and you don't have curriculum built for it yet. Try out making video curriculum. You can also, of course, supplement the videos that you make by finding some online. You can comb through YouTube, you can do some searches, and you can kind of craft 5 or 6 video lessons between your own work and the work of others that you respect to make an interesting unit. And again, at the end, if this is your first time doing flipped learning, I'd really suggest you do a survey of your students. What do they like about it? What do they find confusing or difficult? And then be experimenting with the wonderful opportunity to use those in-class times for practical application. So whether it's workshops, whether groups are working on some kind of intriguing project, take advantage of the fact that students are going to have some mastery as they come in after watching your videos. Number 5, this is the last way to try out flipped learning that I have come up with for you for today. And I love this one. I think we all get pretty married to the curriculum that we've created, if you can forgive my expression. We love the units we've made and that we've developed over the years, but usually there are a few issues, and I think you know what I'm talking about. There's some poetry lesson that flopped. There's some novel that just didn't have a good culmination last year or the year before or the year before. And so for the final application here, I want you to try out revamping just 3 bad days. So look through your upcoming year and think to yourself, okay, last year it really didn't work when I did that Thanksgiving creative writing project. Or, oh my goodness, I'm not going to do that love poetry assignment again, or whatever it is. And I want you to redo those 3 lesson plans as flipped plans. Okay, so decide you're going to cover that content, or you're going to tweak the content and put in new content, and you're going to do it via video just for an experiment. You're going to test out the waters with this flipped learning, and you're going to take those 3 bad days and you're going to make them superb by doing flipped learning. Thanks for tuning in. I love sharing ideas with you. If you'd like to check out the show notes for further reading about flipping your classroom, just head to www.nowsparkcreativity.com and click on the podcast tab at the top of the page. Don't forget to join our creative community on Facebook if you haven't already. You can click Facebook group at the top of that same website, my website, or search Creative High School English on Facebook and click to join.